Rob and I, first of all, I'm Terry Daniel, voice actor, audio engineer, 35 years in the business being a voice actor, demo producer, audio engineer, you name it. My partner up above there in the Zoom square is Rob Marley. He's got a ton of experience too. And we really like to, when we conduct these, we don't like to do I mean, I'm going to definitely show some slides, but we don't like to do these, 55 slide PowerPoint presentations and put everybody to sleep. We want to make sure that this is as interactive as possible. You're going to hear a lot of candid information about what worked
Um,
for us in the course of our career, what doesn't work. There's
I
fantastic
can't.
information. Oh, you got to keep your
She got it.
mic muted
She got
there.
it.
Okay, great. A lot of great information online and through social media platforms on how to get into voiceovers. But unfortunately, there's a lot of really bad information. And we're going to our goal tonight is to help steer you in the proper direction. And if you're passionate about doing something, we are going to tell you how to do it to give you the best possible chances. So, Rob, tell us a
Hmm.
little bit about yourself and what got you in such a demented state of mind to get into voiceover.
I don't know. It's something I thought I'd be fun to do. No, I'd always worked in television and TV production and stuff like that, and I did a lot of got a lot of experience mixing sound for live bands and stuff at Six Flags in L.A. And so I got used to having to be on microphone to announce things, spiels and telling people to leave, stand and move to the center of the theater, make room for other guests, and exit out the back and stuff like that. So I got comfortable talking on microphone. And then with all these production companies I was working for, they always needed voiceover, so I started doing voiceover for them, and it just kind of stumbled into it, and I realized, hey, I should be doing this for money. And
Yeah.
so that was the idea. So I eventually switched to full time, and now I'm coaching, and here I am doing this.
Very cool. Yeah, I did a lot of theater and radio back in the 90s. I did my first voiceover demo in 1989 on a cassette, and that went really well. Um, but basically, I kind of put it together myself, on a stereo Panasonic boombox, and didn't really know what the hell I was doing. But there wasn't a lot of resources back then. There was this big book called the Gold Book. It had all the advertising agencies and talent agencies in my market, but there really wasn't. I mean, I think there might have been one or two how to get into voiceover books, but even those weren't very popular, and there weren't a million voiceover groups on Facebook. But now the good news for everybody in this class who has a passion for this, there are so many great resources. And it doesn't take as long because you're not mailing tapes to a talent agent. And back when I started, the only way to get work was through a talent agent. And now there's like multiple different paths you can go down. So before we start the presentation in the chat area, everybody do me a favor and tell us where you are viewing and listening from. We'd like to know where our reach is. Rob is a numbers guy, so he keeps track of our reach. He's a big reach guy.
A big reach. Yeah, no, I could. I just like knowing where everybody's from. That's all.
Now we got somebody from Bloomington, Minnesota. That's only
Montreal.
I'm out by Taylor's Falls, so Bloomington's about 40 minutes from here, but I used to live closer to there. A lot of people from the UK coming in.
Cleveland, Santa
Um,
Fe.
So, by the way, throughout the
Nice.
course of the presentation, if you've got like, oh my God, I can't wait to ask this question. I'm so excited. I just want to blurt it out. Well, go ahead and blurt it out in the chat box because Cassie Gold, our award-winning moderator, will be fielding through those questions. Then we'll go to her at the end. And we'll probably have time tonight to get a few questions live. So if you want to jump on the mic toward the end of the presentation, we'll certainly let you do that as well. All right. Well, first of all, just some basic, you know, common sense type steps to start. You really have to make the decision that you're going to do this. And that includes lots of research. This is not a business. And this is where people get misled online occasionally when people are trying to lure you into their classes where they're making income guarantees and charging you big money for um, these classes that Rob, they just focus on the money and not on the skill or what it takes, not about having patience, perseverance and actually having to put in the work. I've seen their ads on Facebook, and all the content, all the text in their ad is behind a big dollar sign.
It's my favorite are the ones that are the continuous scrolling wall of text.
Yeah,
Like you just scroll and
right.
scroll and scroll, and it's like this page never ends. And it has a video on it that you can't skip forward through. There's no controls on it. They make it a point so that you can't skip forward. And all they're doing is they're talking about how you can make money in voiceover. You can get started without any experience. Well, yeah, that's how everybody starts, is without any experience. But they use those kind of terms to lure people in to think, oh, it's so easy and I'm going to make money right away. And then it's just they take your money, they show you some basic things, and they kick you out the door, and you've got nothing to show for it. It sucks. It sucks. But they're out there.
Yeah, it's really it is a game where if you do put, and I'm going back and forth from the PowerPoint presentation, or not the PowerPoint, but the keynote, because I forgot to put a slide in here. So
Oh
bear
my
with me on
God!
that. Oh no.
Start all over.
Everybody start the presentation over. Oh my God, please help. But no, that's a good point, Rob, because what we have to do as coaches too, and doing our due diligence, is to make sure that we steer people in the right direction. And one of the things that UVT coaching is well known for is being candid. I mean, we rarely talk about money in our coaching. We try to provide the right tools. We try to make sure our students are ready by the time it comes to doing a demo. And that's with coaching with lots of different commercial narration scripts, video game character scripts, promo scripts, whatever. There is a reason, Rob, that it's called voice acting.
It's one of those things that a lot of people don't really think about that I mean, but heck, it's in the name, voice acting. But acting is the most important part of this. You have to know. It's not just a question of reading the words on on the page or on the screen, and them sending you money. Yeah, at its simplest form, that's what it's about. But knowing how to read those words and why you're reading them the way you're reading them, and how to convey the emotion behind whatever it is you're selling or pushing or talking about. Those are all very important things, and that's what you need to be able to be an effective voice actor, is understand the acting part of it. So yeah, you don't need to be a Shakespearean trained actor, but you need to know what it's all about, and understand how to get there.
Well, and Rob, you and I were challenged because we came from radio, which is a completely different performance skill.
Well, I was in
And
radio, but I was the sound guy for live
oh, right,
bands and
right,
stuff like
right.
that.
Yeah,
But
I did more of the on-air
Oh, but
announcer
no, and
stuff.
that's the thing. If you've been an on-air voice, any of those radio guys, they all have radio voices. They all have that classic radio announcer voice, and then everything sounds a little pukey and hi everybody. And it's, you know what? They don't even realize they're doing it anymore because they've been on the air so long trying to sound natural that they've forced themselves out of being unnatural. So it's like unlearning what comes naturally to them is one of the hardest things about people that have been in radio. It's a tough job to get into voiceover because you can't sound like you're on the radio. If you sound like you're selling, you're done.
It can be very challenging. I worked with a gentleman. We finally got him out of his. He was a very well-known um a really well-known announcer who did news talk radio, for Westwood One back in the day. He was just
Oh,
everything
cool.
he read sounded like this. I mean, he could read you a coffee commercial on the air and you would run to your basement because you would think there was a tornado warning because it sounded that alarming, something
Just
as
those
lighthearted as a coffee
yeah.
commercial, but he was so institutionalized into that type of performance for 50 years. I mean, imagine trying to get him out of that type of performance and into more of an actor's role.
Yeah.
The stuff that you hear on national radio spots, or
Mhm.
if you're watching TV spots, how authentic and just real sounding these people are. They make it sound so effortless. But we coached for about a year, and then he was finally able to break the habit. But honestly, that was after about a couple thousand coaching sessions. I'm not saying that it takes everybody that long, but man, when you've been reading the news on AM talk
Well,
radio for 50 years, it's going to take more than a couple weeks of coaching.
and that's the thing. Everybody in radio wants to think that they've got like a signature voice that is them and that's their personality. Everybody wants to be Paul Harvey. They all want to have their own kind of signature way of talking and letting everybody know that it's them.
Right.
And that doesn't work when you're just another schlub voice trying to, sell toilet paper or, whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
practice stuff that you hear on TV too. And then if you're already set up at home with recording gear, I always recommend that when you're recording or practicing scripts, don't allow your own voice to get in your way. And sometimes, like what I'm doing right now, all my windows are open, so it gets really loud if I have the monitors on during class. But this is not how I usually record. I love to record, Rob, especially commercial scripts without my headphones on because my own voice is very distracting. It gets in the way of the message of the
Yeah.
script. I like to do all my editing in post-production if I have to put a de-esser on it or do some mouth click repair or
Yeah.
EQ it a little bit. That's fine. I will do it after I record. I don't need to hear everything that's going on because I'm a much better actor. Now, this doesn't work for everybody, but I'm a much better actor if I can't hear myself in my headphones.
See, I'm kind of stuck the other way. Coming from an engineering background, I always want to hear what's being recorded. But for me, I have to also hear myself in the space to be able to gauge how loud or how soft I need to be. Do I need to be very dynamic, or is it too loud in my head, in my headphones, and kind of keeping myself down, reserved, quiet because I don't even realize it. So I always do the one ear on, one ear off thing, just so I can hear any plosives or peepops or spit bubbles that happen. And I can also hear myself in the room to sound acoustically, so I'm gauging my volume. And that seems to work. But that's the way I've always done it for like 20 years, 25 years. I've always done it that way. So it works
Yeah,
for me.
whatever works. It doesn't, and just even advice that you're hearing from us tonight, you guys, it doesn't mean that it's our way or the highway. I like to just kind of lay out the blueprint that has worked for Rob or myself, and then, you can follow that blueprint or do some of your own stuff. But I will say that coaching really does make a difference because a coach can really help you hone in on your skills. Because if you don't have any experience whatsoever, or if you were like the dude that we talked about earlier that had 50 years of radio experience, I mean, you're definitely going to need some coaching to get your acting chops down, not only for commercial or narration scripts, but also the marketing end of the business, which we teach a lot of UVT. And I worked with a couple of different coaches in Minneapolis when I was in theater. But there's a couple of things that helped me get out of my radio voice, which was in the low to mid 90s. I worked with a couple of different coaches and I did improv. Improv was fantastic for getting out of my radio announcer voice. And the couple of coaches got me a little bit away from that and doing theater. I did a lot of theater for about 5 or 6 years from about 94 on. And that was very helpful because you get an opportunity to play lots of different characters. So yeah, if you're brand new or even if you're not brand new, if you've got experience in voiceover, you should know, even if you're a paid voice actor right now, the importance of voiceover coaching and the importance of continuing coaching. Because Rob, even if you're doing really well at this, that doesn't mean that suddenly, it's very easy to slip into a bad habit.
Oh, you don't even know you're doing it. That's the thing.
No.
You think, okay, I've learned I can be a voiceover artist. I can do this. And then you don't even realize that you're getting into doing habits or saying things because you think it sounds natural, but honestly it sounds commercial and that could be, killing you. That's why it's nice to have another voice that can tell you, as you're moving along, what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. I mean, Tiger Woods in his prime had multiple coaches. So just because you've learned the basics doesn't mean you're now set to be for life in voiceover. You're always learning and you're always improving.
Well said. And once you go through a program, for however many sessions it takes, it's going to definitely take more than one, maybe just a few if you've got like 30 years of experience or whatever. But the ultimate end game with any kind of training program, whether you work with us or another company out there, is to get to the voiceover demo uh, process. A voiceover demo is the number one marketing tool for a voice actor. It's your ultimate calling card. Just like actors, the headshot is everything, right? The headshot, definitely the performance skills are important, but you need that headshot. Everybody's got a headshot. If you're looking to book voiceover work or even get on a couple talent agency rosters, you've absolutely 100% need a voiceover demo. A demo is like, you know, 60 seconds to about a minute 15, maybe, for example, for a commercial demo, where when I do demos, I put about five or six, more leaning on six really short clips. That again, sometimes we'll go over a 60-minute. It really depends on what the agency. I usually will give people a shorter and a longer version. The longer version would go on a website. Shorter version, around 60-second, would go to the talent agent. And this is where you not only showcase your talent, but also your skill set, your versatility and range. Because let me tell you something, variety is key, especially on getting on a talent agency roster. You can't have every clip on your demo sounding like the same read, Rob. You cannot be a one note talent. All six clips have to show a little bit of a different performance, energy, and a different, almost like a different character, almost different personality.
Absolutely. There's a variety of voiceover read styles that are asked for more often than the others that you need to be able to show. It's almost like in high diving, there's like compulsory dives where you have to know how to do like a swan dive, and you have to know how to do a front whatever,
Right.
and it's like, so you have to learn the basics, but there's more than that, and yeah, there's a lot more to your demo and understanding the stuff that's in demand. I mean, yeah, your skills are the most important part. So whatever you're strongest with should be up front and center. And but it should also showcase the styles that are in demand, like a conversational and a heartfelt, sincere, a folksy read. All of those things are asked for a lot. So make sure that your skills are where they need to be to show those off, right in the first few seconds. Because I can tell, me personally, I can tell within seconds whether or not the thing you're pretending to know you're good at is actually something you're good at.
Yeah, and again, it's important, just like Rob said, the best stuff should always be up front in the demo because that's going to keep the agent or the prospective buyer listening. And if it's bad right out of the get-go, first of all, if it's bad, it's not any demo that we would do, but it's got to be like super versatile all the way through. And some agents will want a 60-second demo, although Atlas now has gotten really kind of loose on their limitations on the length thing. Because, Rob, we've had one of our friends from Atlas, I can't remember her name, Ariel.
Ariel, yeah, Ariel
Yeah,
here.
yeah. And she's like, oh, we've gotten really loose on that. It's about like a minute 15 now, which is really
Well,
good. Because
yeah,
if you're really good, you can showcase more of your skill.
but that's the thing. Like 90 seconds is probably not even going to get listened to on a
Right.
demo. So
Well,
like
that's
you've got to
a minute
stay.
and a half is a little long. A minute
You've got to
15
stay.
would be
Yeah,
okay.
minute 15 is about it. But it doesn't have to be 60 seconds exactly. I mean, but yeah, you should be able to show off what skills you have in that amount of time. If you can't, then there's a problem.
I want to show you, or not show you, I want to play you just our UVT voiceover sampler. This is basically a demo of lots of different talents. I want you guys to listen for a few different things. I want you to hear the talent first of all, and listen to how versatile they are, especially this Rebecca Lee, who will be the first talent on the sampler. Every one of her reads is completely different. You can tell it's the same voice, but she's a really good actress, and you'll tell that everyone is just a little bit different. And then Rob's got a radio imaging demo that he produced on here. And then there's some really just outstanding video game character reads. And I want to just play. This will be about 3.5 minutes.
The grins and giggles.
Let me start beginning. Could you hear that, Rob? Okay.
I didn't mute myself. I unmuted myself. Yeah, it sounded fine. Go ahead.
Okay, good, good. I just want to make sure that it's playing right. All right, let's take a listen. And again, listen for variety. And then as far as production, I want you to listen to how tight the engineering is on these demos too, because it's not the number one priority to get on a talent agency roster, but the clips really need to sound well mixed. They really, even though a lot of these are fake scripts, they really need to sound like real commercials or real video game characters, and that's kind of the ticket. So let's take a listen here.
The grins and giggles they let out as soon as the lotion touches their skin are magical. Soft skin with so many smiles. Aveeno Baby Lotion. At Trader Joe's, we know quality and price are both equally important, which is why you get the best of both when you shop with us. Trader Joe's. Why settle for biting into a chocolate-covered cherry when we've given you the chance to drink one? Sexual Chocolate Red. Available at Total Wine.
We've lost too many to just give up. We must keep fighting if we want to live in a world free of this evil and hate. Who's with me? You must ride due east for 3 days until a large waterfall will show its beauty where the sun sets. At first light, you must fire the arrow of hope into the waterfall and kill the beast that lives there once and for all. What could you possibly have to offer me, peasant? This armor is fit for a true warrior, not some lost little boy like you. War is horrific. It will change your life in ways you cannot imagine. Being prepared for battle is one thing, boys, but being excited for it is a feeling you should never have. You heed these words and you never forget them.
There's nothing like the roar of a Harley. It's more than a motorcycle. It's freedom, adventure, and the open road calling your name. Harley Davidson isn't just a ride, it's a lifestyle.
Tired of walking to the fridge and feeling like you've run a marathon? Ever blink so slowly your friends think you're buffering? Crush that slump with Monster Energy Drink. One sip and you'll go from couch potato to human tornado. Monster Energy, unleash the beast!
Immerse your life in the sound you love.
Here we go, let's go.
Next level spatial audio that hits from every direction. Era 300 connects you to your music like never before. Feel the sound all around, now at Sonos.com. Wait, hold up. Extreme Sport Ice? No. Try this. Go ahead. Take a whiff. Right? Vanilla and coconut. Native all-natural products for body, hair, and skin leave you feeling clean, fresh, and smelling like real things. It's not a mystery. It's native.
Of course you fell for my charade. Heroes are always so busy heroing that they miss the little details. That's how I was able to trap you and kill you. Oh wait, we haven't got to that second part yet. But we will.
They tell me you're only as old as you feel. Well, then I must be older than dirt. I got angina, bursitis, arthritis, diverticulitis, and the gout. And that's just the stuff I can pronounce.
We love the music.
If it's the greatest hits you hear in the car, it can only be Q105 FM, Atlanta's best music. Listen to the Eagle weekdays for a chance to win $1,000. $1,000.
Enter a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo right here that basically says the same thing. Just listen to the Eagle Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. for a chance to win $1,000. Void where prohibited. Your mileage may vary. Don't forget to floss, eat your vegetables.
Music that doesn't suck. Z-Rock 103. Download our free app and take K-Rock with you wherever you go.
Except maybe not to a funeral. That's kind of awkward.
What the truth? You can't handle the truth. The truth is that Mix 107 plays the most hits, more than any other station. Oh, wait, that's not what you were asking about?
There it is.
Oh man, Al
Rob-
Malay.
Oh yeah, perfect variety on that one. You know, it's so that, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of how it's done as far as not only the talent's performance, but the way that we put together, you know, demos that will book you work and get on talent agency rosters. And Rob, for people that don't really know what radio imaging means, can you talk about that just for a minute?
Well, you heard some of it right there. It's the noisy bits between songs that most people tend to ignore. But the whole point of it is it's designed to grab your attention in the shortest amount of time possible and let you know some basic information. Usually it's a station ID, like those were. Sometimes it's a promo or something fun. They always try to make them ear-catching and funny, and that's one of the things I love, being silly with those things. So
Yeah,
that's
they're
basically
great.
what it is. It's the sonic branding for a radio station, basically.
And before we talk about what a nice user-friendly voiceover website should look like, tell us why it's just not a smart idea to try to do your own demo.
Me personally, oh, that was a terrible idea. It
Yeah,
was
your thoughts on that.
Oh my God. No, we all have a cassette tape somewhere buried in our closet that is
Well,
stuff we
I've
just
got one right
cringe listening
here.
to. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got one
No,
right
it's
here.
I thought I knew everything there was to know about voiceover because I'd been doing it for a while, but so I put together what I thought would sound good, and I produced my own commercials from scripts that I found and threw it all together, and I thought it sounded great. And somebody took one listen to it, and within seconds they went, "No, these are crap." And it was like, thankfully I had only sent that out to a few dozen agencies, but I learned very quickly that I didn't know squat about what I was doing when I first started doing this.
Yeah, and I think people kind of go down a dangerous path when they start using those Edge Studio library practice scripts. You can get
That's
them, you can download them right off the Edge Studio library. Some of you know what I'm talking about, but then they'll
yeah.
use those for their demo. They'll plug like a USB mic into a laptop and then try to like at least try to mix music. I would never ever. I mean, if you're really serious about having the best chance to succeed, you have to get this done professionally, because I know it sounds very cliche and predictable, but this is an industry where sometimes you do get one chance to make an impression, especially when it comes to getting on a talent agency roster, because agents have incredible memories for the horse shit that's sent to them. So if you if you send them a really awful demo, they might put you on some weird list and they may not want to talk to you again. So,
They'll
I
just
mean, if you were
flag.
really serious about doing it, why would you not want to do it right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they'll just flag your email and you'll never hear from them again. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's not anything big. It's like one button press and that person's done. Goodbye. You never see work
And
from them.
and the thing is, a lot of people are just they're butchering it, because I get a lot of like people that have tried to do their demos, they'll send them to me, and I can tell that the the person has a lot of talent. I'm like, look, there's nothing wrong with your talent. There's a lot of potential there. But the music's too loud. The demo's mixed horribly. It's distorting in some parts. The
And
volume is very
yeah, and
inconsistent.
those
And it
are
just sounds like it doesn't sound mastered correctly.
no,
It sounds like hell.
those are all the things that a producer is listening to, and when you need to be showing off your voice, not also your kind of sort of production skills. If you're trying to show off your production skills, then you're going at it, create a demo of your production skills and show that
Right.
off to the right producers. But a voice actor, you need somebody that can be doing this stuff for you, that has content that's written specifically for your skills. That's another thing. Grabbing practice scripts, yeah, you may be able to read something that sounds like a commercial, but I guarantee these agents have heard all of those practice scripts before, so you're not going to impress
Oh yeah.
anybody.
I mean, it's
You
great to
need
just,
help.
if you're just having fun and practice with, but my God, never put them
That's what it's
on a
for.
demo. Yeah, it's
That's why
called a
they're called
practice
practice
script.
scripts.
Right. Exactly. At UVT, we do tailor all of our scripts towards, the talents, not only their skill set, but also their hobbies and interests. Because I think it's important to read about stuff, especially on a first demo, about stuff that you're really interested in. If you're not a real computer geek, we're not going to probably put that kind of content on your demo. Or if you're not like a Harley Davidson person, we're probably not going to put a commercial like that. But it's important that we not only put as much variety into the demo, but I think, Rob, it's important to read content that you're interested in, because you're just more engaged too, especially for the demo purposes.
I think one of the things that a lot of people are afraid of is the idea that they may have an accent. Like I've
Yeah.
worked with a couple of students that have like an East Coast accent, and they think, oh, I'm not gonna get any work because I have this New York voice. No, man, that means you're perfect for that New York area. If
Right.
you've got a native accent from a region, that makes you perfect for regional spots, because they're always looking for native honest sounding people of the region. I don't do Texas spots because I came from California and I don't sound like a Texan. So,
No, you
they,
don't. You don't have that drawl at all. Well, not that
and
anybody
that's
does in the
fine.
metro
No,
areas, but
honestly, yeah, Austin's a college town. Nobody has an accent here in
yeah.
Austin, but that's what that's what it's about. If you have an accent, it just means you're perfect for that particular region, and then you just need to know where to focus. That's the way to go.
Talk about voiceover website. By the way, if you have questions, just type them in the chat. We'll have Cassie retrieve those, and we'll do some of those live towards the end of the presentation. I want to talk about voiceover websites just for a few minutes here because it's really simple. The best kind of website that you can put together or have somebody professionally put together for you is a one-page website where all your demos are above the fold, a little information about yourself. Honestly, less is always more when it comes to a website. Clients do not want to feel like they were dropped from a helicopter landing in the middle of the jungle when they visit your website. Because if a client has to take more than 2 minutes to find your demo on the website, they're probably going to go on to the next talent. And that's the biggest issue I see online when it comes to voice actor websites. They try to, it almost seems like ego gets in the way a little bit. These multiple pages of all the awards they've won and this and that. And there's all this, I mean, it looks beautiful, but it's like you just, it's like you're walking through a mall or something, there's just too much information. Rob, all the information should be right there. There's no reason you should ever have more than a one-page user-friendly website.
It needs to be simple and clean. One of the things that just bugs me so much is when I see somebody doing a crawl of all the logos for all the companies that they've worked for. Oh, here's McDonald's, here's Mercedes-Benz, here's blah, blah, blah. It's just noise.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're a brand new voice actor and you're saying your voice for Mercedes-Benz, you better be able to back that up with real proof.
Oh yeah.
And of course, when you
there's
want
a lot
to be
of
able
people
to brag,
that have been, there's a lot of people that are a lot of
yeah.
people putting misleading stuff on their website.
You and I both.
I'm the voice of the Minnesota Vikings.
You and I both know several people that have tried to claim that they were professional when they weren't. But that's just the thing. Your website needs to be clean and just sharp. And if you're cluttering it up with too many logos, it just makes you look like you're desperate. Like, look at all the people I work with. Please work with me. It just makes you look like a used car salesman,
Right.
Jaguar doesn't have signs on their windows saying 50% off. It's a Jaguar in the window, and that's all it's got. So be classy about your website. Make it simple and clean.
And the demos are most important. They should be really right there, right? It should be one of the first thing, honestly, the client sees. And you definitely want to do an audio player on the website too. And you also want to have a downloadable link because clients love to save the MP3 because who knows, you might be visited by somebody who is the middle person in the chain. So they may want to save your demo and send it to their client. Most of my clients are the middle people. Some of the time, a lot of the times I don't even talk to the real decision maker. I talk to the, who's ever second in command, so always really important to have that downloadable link to a MP3 of your demo. And honestly, there are no cons to multiple demos. You can have an IVR demo, commercial demo, narration demo. E-learning explainer video narration right now is a really hot genre. If you're super serious about doing this, obviously get the coaching, and the demos are just, absolutely mandatory in my opinion. But definitely do some kind of explainer video narration because that's a really, really hot genre. If you're not familiar with the term explainer video, if you remember back in the late 80s and 90s, they're basically how-to videos. You'd go to Home Depot and you'd get a VHS cassette of some dude telling you how to restain your deck or something. It's basically how to do something, how to fix your kitchen faucet, how to do your taxes, how to. And then Rob, do you do a little bit of e-learning?
I haven't done much e-learning lately. I did a lot pre-pandemic. And then everybody with a microphone thought that they were a voice actor and flooded the e-learning market. But e-learning is still huge. Every business out there needs, stuff like that. But no, I haven't done anything in the past couple of years, but I haven't really been marketing towards that. I've just been focusing on commercial more than
Yeah,
anything.
definitely. Definitely. So let's talk about recording gear. Everybody's always interested in the gear. I'll just give you a few recommendations, especially when you're first starting off. I really like the Rode NT1 mic. I think it's affordable. It's a condenser mic that sounds very warm. It's not like the mic that I have back there, which would be the old classic SM58 dynamic mic that singers use, right? And then the 416, I mean, this is about $1,000. You're not going to start off with that microphone. But Rob, I think the Rode products sound really good. I think the Rode NT1 is about 350, $400.
I think it's so worth it. Rode is a solid company out of Australia that stole German designs and got the parts
They did.
manufactured in China so that they can assemble it in Australia and still make money. I mean, it's brilliant, and I don't know how they got around the legality of it.
I don't know either, but it's such a
no,
popular mic.
The Rode NT1 is note for note, I mean, resistor and wire, the exact same thing as a Neumann U87. It's the exact same microphone, but it's 350 versus 3,500. So
Yeah,
the Rode is an amazing microphone, really solid, very dependable. You can't go wrong with that mic. It's a good, solid, great for narration kind of microphone.
And I also think it's very important in what's powering the mic, like your interface. We like the Scarlett Focusrites are nice and affordable. The 2i2 or the 8i8A is a little bit of a warmer sound, but check those out. They're very, very, yeah, you don't really need the 8i8. I mean, I can tell the difference a little bit, but the 2i2 is enough to power.
The 2i2 is plenty.
My only gripe is you really have to crank the gain up a lot to get any kind of decent volume. But that's what post-production is for.
Yeah, you're on a 416, and 416s work better with a cloud lifter to give it more of a signal anyway, but blah, blah, we're talking shop. No, the 2i2, Focusrite 2i2 and a Focusrite Solo are great. They're great, solid. They're built like a tank. I mean, they're designed to be kicked around on a stage. They're designed for musicians. So sitting on a desk, not a problem for it. And it allows you to do plugins. It does VST plugins, native. So it's amazing. You've got this great little tool. It's great circuitry. It's silent. And it's really all you need for not a whole lot of money to get started.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the importance of the room that you're recording in, because if you get really, let's say you did get an MK416, right? It's going to sound like shit if it sounds like you're talking in the middle of a gymnasium. You can't be in a big kitchen or a big giant room with high ceilings and hardwood floors.
That's the problem with
the room treatment is probably the one thing, Rob, that gets kind of taken for granted when you're setting up your home studio.
Absolutely. That's the problem with really expensive mics, is they will let you know quite clearly that you're not in a treated space.
Yeah.
And I can make a crappy microphone sound good in a good recording space, and I can make an amazing microphone sound like crap in an untreated space. The space around your microphone is actually more important than the microphone. In my opinion, it is.
And I think, just keep working with the room that you're recording in. Just trying to find the smallest room in your house. Don't get sucked into buying those porta booths unless you really, I mean, remember, you're talking into a box. Guess what you're going to sound like? Like you're talking into a box.
You're going to sound boxy.
Exactly. It doesn't do anything. Even when I'm on the road, I see people take these porta booths, like even at conferences, Rob. I would prefer that you build a pillow fort or go record in your car, because it's going to sound a lot more than sounding like you just got dropped in the middle of a box or a well somewhere.
There are plenty of products out there that people are trying to sell to voice actors to help them, like these big shields and foam balls and all this crazy nonsense.
Those shields are nonsense.
What you need to do is you need to go hang out in a bar at a voiceover conference and you start hearing all the little tricks on how to build a pillow fort in your hotel room. It's all about putting the ironing board on top of the desk. You always order extra pillows and bedding. You always get a floor as high up as possible and as far away from the ice machine. I mean, all these little tricks, and you build a pillow fort, and it's going to be much better than some stupid little foam ball that sits
And
in front of the
when you
microphone.
say hang out at a bar at a conference, I mean you're
Yeah,
pretty much saying hang out with you and I, right, Rob?
that sounded a little bad. As soon as I said it, I thought, "Ooh, that sounds weird."
I
But
mean,
you
you're
know
just
what I
being
mean.
realistic. You can pick up a lot from the conversations at bars, at
I
conferences. Let's be
learned
honest.
networking is the number one thing when you go to a voiceover conference. Yes, you're drinking from the fire hose as far as information goes, but networking with your peers and finding out who they are and how to work with them, that all happens in the social activities that happen
Oh,
after the
that's so
session.
much fun. Yeah. I mean, the presentations are great, but it's really, yeah, it's the conversations in between the sessions that are really,
Yeah,
you're going to learn the most.
absolutely.
Voiceover marketing. So a lot of you might be thinking, okay, what if I did go through all coaching? What if I got all these demos produced? What the hell do I do with the demo now? So what you want to do, and this is what's great about technology these days, is you can actually, you can do it all online. Like if you're interested in being represented by a talent agent, they usually have a new talent page on their website where new talents will fill out a very brief form and then you'll attach an MP3 of your demo. That's the stuff that I wish were available. Again, in the late 80s, you had to mail in the cassette and then maybe you would get a return phone call in 6 months, right? So it was a longer process. Now agents get back to you relatively quickly. Everything's really quick online. But I want to talk a little bit about the importance of direct marketing because you can go throughout your whole career, never get on one talent agency roster. And that doesn't mean you're a loser, you're not going to make any money, that you're not any good. For whatever reason, these agents don't need a voice like yours. You know what? Who cares? Throw them on the back burner and just contact clients direct. There's so many e-learning directories out there. There's production companies where you can contact the creative directors. Personally, I've had a lot of success with video production departments inside corporations. They do a lot of training materials for their employees. I mean, who knew that 3M had a beautiful studio inside? I mean, I'm sure everybody in this class tonight lives near some type of corporation. Don't overlook them, man. Those are hot leads. They all have in-house production studios where there's an AV director or two who's always looking to put a small pool of talent together. Those are hot leads because Rob, I don't hear anybody talking about that in other like voiceover marketing classes, and nobody really thinks when they drive by a big corporation that, hey, that's a great place to send my demo to.
It's one of those things that no one considers, but you brought it up that first time, and I thought, damn, of course they do. Of course they have major AV
Yeah.
departments in there. Like, it makes perfect sense that they would have an internal AV department to do videos, so why not reach out to them? Because you know that every commercial company out there is getting slammed right and left with voice artists that want to work with them, but I doubt that 3M's getting hit quite as hard. It's a perfect opportunity to go after them.
That's how I
Good
got
market.
work with General Mills locally here. I mean, I'm in Minnesota, so these are Minnesota-based corporations, but I'm sure people are familiar with the product. Boston Scientific is another one. Medtronic, a lot of medical stuff comes out of there. Um, and this is what's so great about this journey. It's like when you really start, you know, digging your heels in and, coaching and you're really getting going. Sometimes people have no idea what they're going to be good at, right? So, you might think, oh, I think I'd be pretty good at this e-learning narration bit. By the end of the training program, you might be doing video game characters because your coach heard something in your delivery that they thought had a chance at doing that kind of a genre. Rob, we have students that fight us on it. It's like, hey, I'm not really into characters. I don't really want to do this character script today. And sometimes, you know what? You don't know squat until we actually start working on it. And a lot of times there's a surprise, a talent that's been built inside their system for so long that finally came out during a coaching session.
You never know what you're going to be good at until you try it. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people are turned off by doing character stuff. I'm kind of turned off by doing character stuff because I don't want to be doing character stuff. I mean, you don't think you have a character in you, but one of the things like I've learned from working with Garnet is that
Oh, yeah.
he knows how to pull the little details that really make a character kind of awesome and shows you how to bring that to life, how to bring a character to life. And for those people, the people that are skeptical about, oh, I don't want to do it, they end up like going on and loving it, and that
Oh, they
becomes a
do.
big part of their life.
Yeah,
It's fun.
he writes like original. Yeah, Garnett Williams is our best character coach, no question about it. He makes,
Yeah.
he gives you a lot of homework on, creating your own characters, and it's really a lot of fun. Patience and perseverance. We talked about this early. I mean, this is not going to be, and you see these by misleading ads, especially on Facebook. This is not going to be a quick solution for a financial issue. You have to be able to put in the work and you have to give it time. And I know there's these classes and these snake oil artists who say, make money in 7 days and we guarantee that you'll make six figures. Rob, every single morning you and I grab our coffee and we see one of those ads in the news feed.
And it's so funny because thanks to Facebook, it wants to keep pushing those kind of ads in front of me. Oh,
That's
you're a
because
voice actor, and so
that's because you
here's.
probably made a comment on one of them, and now
I
the
probably
algorithm.
did. I probably at one point said this thing sucks, and now
Oh
every
yeah,
time I'm going to get them.
I've been
But yeah,
guilty myself.
honestly, it's amazing how much they just prey on the naivete of new people. It's
Oh,
just it's appalling.
it's just
It's appalling.
well, it's predatorial, is what it is.
And it's legal. It's just
Oh yeah,
it's just at the line of legality. It's so razor thin edge to scam, but they just know how to dance that line.
yeah.
It's
Just be
it's
careful.
nuts.
Just take everything with a grain of salt when you're doing all your research. If you have questions, if you see something that looks kind of odd out there, you can email Rob or myself. I mean, we'll give it to you straight. I mean, we've been through that whole thing. It's like, God, should I sign up for this program or should do this? This guy is telling me that I can make six figures in like a month. We don't, Rob, you and I hardly ever even talk about money in our coaching sessions.
Not at all. Not at
It's,
all.
it's all about, it's all about the performance, the
If all you're
skills, the marketing.
yeah, if all you're focusing on is money right out of the gate, you're really going to be heartbroken because money doesn't happen until you realize you've got some skills and you're putting in the work. It doesn't happen before then. No one's going to listen to a first time person that's been in the business for a week and go, "Hey, here's a national job for you." It doesn't work
Right.
that way.
Nope, it doesn't.
You've got to put in the work and show the skills, and it's a grind. It's a grind. It's possible to make money. It is, but it takes a consistent, persistent effort to go after it, and that's what
Abs-
we teach.
Absolutely. And then, taking the lead, you have to just decide, eventually you just have to get off the fence. I mean, we've got people in our voiceover groups on Facebook, Rob, where they've been asking the same questions for 7 years. And you know what? Sometimes it's not the right time, right? But you realize that, almost a decade's gone by and you haven't done any coaching. You haven't gotten a demo produced. You can't just sit there and, it's easy to get addicted to the forums on Facebook. And pretty soon it's like you realize, oh my God, I've been just sitting here chatting with people for 3 years. Eventually you have to get off the fence and take that leap.
You know what also happens? Oh, sorry.
No.
I
All right.
interrupted your bed. So I was
No,
gonna
no,
say,
that's oh God, God
what
forbid
also
that bed.
what,
Go ahead, Rob.
what also happens is that people buy the gear and think that makes them a voice artist. Like you can buy a 416 and you can buy an Apollo preamp and you can buy a whisper room and all the jazz, but unless you put in the work of the skills behind that microphone, all the fancy stuff doesn't matter. Like I'm getting into music, right? I could buy really expensive guitars. Doesn't make me play any better. I
Right.
still suck on a really expensive guitar. So
I know, and you have like 10
learn
of
the
them now.
skills. Yeah, I know. It's
I
kind
know
of it's
having
kind of addictive. I'm
you
sorry.
you're addicted to the guitars. I'm addicted to the engineering plugins.
And sword fighting. I'm also into sword fighting. So I
Oh
collect
no,
swords.
another
So
expensive hobby for Rob
yeah,
Marley. Hey
yay.
everybody, do me a favor right now. I want to, one of the biggest questions I get like every month, like multiple times a week, is like, let me know when you have an affordable training program because it's hard to make that initial investment, which is always a few grand when you're buying like, a coaching package with demos. And eventually, you're going to want to do that because it's really very difficult to make it without a demo. But we came up with a really awesome program at UVT called UVT Virtual. It's an incredible program. Do me a favor right now on your laptop, desktop, tablet, whatever you got, go to uvtvirtual.com. Don't put a space between the T and the V like dummy Terry just did on the slide. uvtvirtual.com, all one. I want to just talk about the program for just a moment here. And you're going to see everything you get for $30 a month. Training videos, 3 live voiceover classes a month, not like this class. These are detailed, intense script performance sessions, recording software training, marketing training, setting up your home studio, 3 live Zoom classes a month. We also do a live improv class. Improvisation is so important for voiceovers. It'll get you out of your own head and get you into multiple characters, and that will only help your voiceover work. Plus bi-weekly online training videos. Rob's in a couple of them, Garnett's in a couple of them, I'm in a couple of them, where basically you can just learn how to do all this stuff on your own time. It's called UVT Virtual. Go to uvtvirtual.com and hit that join now button and sign up for it. If you figure out after a month or two, if you hate it, you can cancel. You're not locked into a 5-year contract if you sign up for this. But I'm telling you right now, of all the training programs that I've seen all over the globe, this is not only the cheapest training program, but you get the most bang for your buck because there are so many live classes, So do me a favor, hit that join now button, sign up. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you sign up today, we've got bonuses. Every time I say the word bonuses, I feel like it turns into an infomercial, but this is exactly what it is. Yeah, bonuses. If you sign up tonight, you guys, you get a free one-on-one voiceover coaching from either Rob or myself or Garnett. You get a 60-minute bonus marketing course that I spent like a year putting together. Plus, I have an audio plugin stack that I'll provide you that will help the sound of your audio. Now, it's not going to replace bad room treatment or bad equipment, but when you're recording, it's about 6 or 7 plugins where I've tweaked personally, especially when it comes to EQ, that will make your audio sound better. So there's a flurry, Rob, of bonuses if you sign up tonight. And Rob, I wish something like this would have been around when we started because this is a super affordable way to just kind of get your feet wet,
Yeah, I said that to Danny in the chat because I was chatting with Danny about this. I said I wish it existed when I first got started in voiceover because it would have saved so many headaches. I just think about all the stupid things I did trying to market myself or trying to record audio and all the ways that I shot myself in the foot that could have been avoided had I just had something like this that showed me the actual information of what I need and how I need to do it. It didn't exist. This didn't exist like 10 years ago, this kind of stuff. It's amazing now. I think it's so helpful to anybody that's getting started right now just to be able to see accurate information. Because the problem right now is that everything is on the internet. Yay, okay, I can learn anything I want, but there's so much out there that you start learning. Not all of it is good.
No,
there's a lot of bad
it is
information.
Not good. Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of misleading.
A lot of it when it comes to voiceover, especially. And so this program, because I know it's us and I trust us, it is good. It's providing honest
really
information without all the fluff that you get from these get rich quick kind of guys.
Yeah,
it's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, and look at the UVT virtual curriculum preview on the page too. Those are just a few of the videos you're going to receive. But one thing I didn't mention, and I know it's in here in the top of the page, is I send out voiceover script homework assignments. That comes with the program too. So what I basically do is I'll email you like a commercial and a narration script. Just for an example, I'll give you a little bit of direction on what I'm looking for the performance. And then you go off on your own when you can. There's no time limit on any of this stuff. You record a couple of takes of each script, you email it back to me, and then I give you my lovely candid feedback on the performance. And then we kind of go back and forth virtually. So there's a lot of homework. There's a lot of stuff to do in between all the educational videos that I know you're going to love. And then, of course, the live Zoom classes, which are just, they're so valuable. So do me a favor, hit that join now button and sign up, give it a try. And again, if you sign up now or when the presentation's over, you get all those bonuses, including a coaching session from the award-winning Robert Marley. See, ever since that conference, Rob, my voice sounds like a broken furnace. It's so
I was going to say that's the one drawback to going to voiceover conferences is everybody comes back with a froggy voice because everybody's talking over everybody else, and you're in a room full of 100 people that are all spreading their germs all over the damn place. But
I know, yeah.
Still, the information that you get at these things is fantastic. It's worth
absolutely.
It's worth it to sound like a frog for a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's time. Let's party!
For the UVT voiceover webinar Q&A. All right, it's time to go to Cassie Gold, our moderator, to see what questions we have from the audience today. Cassie, do we have one or two, hopefully?
How about 16? Although Rob's been doing really good about keeping up with some of these.
I know.
That's because Terry won't shut up. So I have more free time to type.
That's why I don't feel bad when we don't get to somebody live, because I know Rob's in there already, like typing back to people. But let's go ahead and let's try to hit a couple if we can here before we say goodnight.
No worries. Although I did tag Rob on a few of them. So.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
All right.
Go for it.
I am apologizing right now because I do not know how to pronounce this, and I'm probably going to butcher it. But Urkar, I apologize, but they've got several questions.
Urkar.
What? Urkar. Okay, so I didn't completely.
Okay, good.
You got it right. Many people, don't get it 4, 5, 6 times. So
okay,
good. I'm glad she
then
finally got it right.
This little Southerner has
sir.
A chance.
Okay,
that's
great.
Awesome. Yeah,
great, awesome.
Because he's had some awesome questions throughout this. Let's start here. Is there a studio in my town where I could go to create a demo? That's the first one.
That's a great question. We try to recommend that when students work with us that they have a home studio setup, which by the way, we have a session home studio setup. Rob has done one. I've done one. Garnett's done one. We recommend that, but it's not our way or the highway. We still do demos in off-site recording studios. So if by the end of the program, you don't have, we don't feel like your space is ready or you're just not there yet, we'll just book a studio in your area and then we'll record it. They'll have a live engineer there. Rob and I will be via Source Connect or Zoom directing live. So that's always an option for demos.
It's really nice to at least once get the experience of going into a studio, and have the engineer set everything up for you and be treated kind of like a celebrity, for this thing, and it gives you the opportunity to take lots of selfies and show off your stuff, for your marketing later. But the reality of it is, being a daily voice actor on a daily basis means you need to have some way of recording stuff on a moment's notice. I have clients that expect stuff back within 10 minutes. And so I've spent the money to build a booth within my house so that I can do this. But you don't need a big fancy thing. You can do a lot with moving blankets, like we talked about, the pillow fort setup. It's easy to get something that sounds decent in your space.
Absolutely. Another question from Cassie Gold.
All righty. Let me get these links up. Let's see here. William asked, is there a point in time during the voice coaching process that it's determined that you're ready to jump in and make a demo and begin auditioning?
That's a great question. That's why with our Big Kahuna program, we do like a dozen coaching sessions before we'll even talk about the demos, really. You'll see it in the curriculum. And then if we feel like you need a little bit more time, we'll just keep working until you're ready to do the demo, because the problem with and there's a lot of great training companies out there, don't get me wrong. But a lot of people get thrown into a demo situation before they're ready. Stay away from these weekend seminars that come with the demo. We were talking about this week or this last weekend at One Voice in Dallas. There's so many out there where you go to like a seminar on Saturday and then they book you in a studio on Monday morning. Rob, I don't know anybody that would be ready for a demo like a day later. I don't care how many hours the seminar is.
There's a lot of those like 2 day kind of like weekend kind of seminars out there where they give you a demo at the end of it. But honestly, after 2 days of learning about voice, if I tried to learn guitar in 2 days, I would have a demo that sounded terrible.
Yeah,
So it's
right,
the same thing when
exactly.
it comes to voice acting.
But that's a good question. So we just kind of keep working with you until you're ready. We're not going to make you do a demo until until the feeling's mutual. Let's all coaches, agree that you're ready. That's why some of our students are in our program what feels like forever. But then by the time we actually do the demo, it's like, it's stellar, because of the fact that they kind of took their time with the training, if that makes sense. All right, Cass.
All right. We've got a lot of good questions here, so I'm trying to make sure I
And
get
I know
ones
it's
that.
7 o'clock. We're just going to go a few minutes over, if you guys don't mind, and just to cover. We won't get to all these questions, but I would love to get to just a couple of more if we can, two or three.
Yep. Da. Jeff asked, is there a method to determine which VO styles are best suited for a person's voice?
It's really hard until you've gone through like a series of coaching sessions. It's really hard to determine that on your own. It's good to have, second or third sets of ears to help you kind of figure that out. I mean, you can definitely figure out quite a bit on your own what you think you're going to be good at. But again, like Rob and I said, I mean, I had a guy that all he wanted to do was focus on medical narration. He ended up moving to LA to do animation because we got tired of doing medical scripts after about 7 sessions. And I'm like, Hank, I'm going to throw you a character script. I mean, you're bored with these scripts. I'm bored with these scripts. This has been great, a great experience. Let's throw it all on the back burner and just have a little fun today. So I threw a couple of character scripts and he just like nailed him. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was like this hidden talent that he was afraid to release, out of insecurity, who knows? But you never know. There's always a surprise in the middle of a training program. So what's next?
Okay. I need better glasses here. Assuming I'm starting from absolute zero, Danny asked, does UVT assist with all the getting started stuff too?
They do. And the virtual place is definitely a good place to start. But if you're on the call too and you've kind of been through something like this before, go to uvtcoaching.com. You can look at our bigger programs that come with more personal training and demos. You can take a look at those. But yeah, we just, our big kahuna is kind of our award-winning toolbox, for beginners. It's got everything you need, website, demos, one-on-one coaching, home studio setup, marketing training. I mean, it's really the whole ball and wax. Definitely our most popular and recommended program is that big kahuna. So that's a great question. All right, let's do two more. And by the way, make sure to sign up for UVT Virtual tonight again to get all those bonuses I talked about, including the one-on-one coaching session and everything else. UVTvirtual.com. We hope you try it out. Cass?
All right. Da.
And by the way, my computer is not cracked. I don't know why these red scribbles are there. They're freaking me out. It's like somebody took over my computer. Oh my God, I was hacked. No, just
See, I
kidding.
didn't even notice it until you called attention to it. So it's
I
your
think
own
I was.
fault
I
for calling
thought it was
attention
part of
to
the
it.
background.
No, I know. Things that people can't see that bother me, and then I talk about them too much. All right. Sorry, Cass.
No worries. Here's one person. A couple of them are asking similar questions, but do you guys also help with putting in touch with possible companies you think we could be a good match for? And will you help us send the demo to when we're done to an agent?
I won't help you send it to a demo to an agent, but I will recommend agents that you can send it to, and I will definitely give you referrals. Absolutely, which is big.
Yeah.
And I'll also help you find production companies. And again, those corporations that we talked about, you'll be given like a list. And by the way, we're a company that will not disappear on an island somewhere once the training is over. I mean, Rob and I still chat with students we worked with 10 years ago when they have a question
Absolutely.
or two.
Absolutely.
This is really more of a lifetime mentorship. I mean, we don't want you. I mean, Rob doesn't mind if you text him at 2 in the morning, but no, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
I don't
Oh,
mind at
he loves
all.
it, man. He loves it. No, we're always here for you. We don't vanish. We don't cut you off and say good luck. You know,
No, what we'll
we
do
want to make sure we give you the best chance to succeed because selfishly, of course, we want you to say good things about us.
exactly, we have a vested interest in wanting to see you succeed when you work with us. So, I mean, of course, we're going to, go out of our way to do that. But I'm not, I'm going to show you what to say, and I'm going to show you how to say it when it comes to creating an email that you reach out to an agent with or reach
Yeah.
out to a production company for. I'm not going to say, okay, here, reach out to this guy, and oh, here's somebody I looked up for you. I'm going to show you how to look up those businesses and then how to reach out to those businesses and start the negotiation process because
Right.
that's what you do as a voice actor. 99% of what I do every day is sending emails out saying, "Hi, I'm a voice actor. How do I get on your team?" And I show you how to do that and who to talk to and what to say. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and we have an awesome marketing session that comes with that big kahuna. But with the UVT virtual membership, there are marketing videos and we do marketing classes as well. In fact, Cass, I don't know, are you available for the improv class Thursday night?
Yep, I'm gonna be there for the improv, and you have the script performance session on
Yes,
Saturday.
so I almost forgot to mention the next two classes that you would be a part of if you signed up for UVT Virtual tonight, uvtvirtual.com. We're doing an improvisation class on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. And then we're going to turn it around 2 days later on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central. We're going to do a script performance class where you'll have the opportunity to read scripts. I'll coach you back and forth. People love those sessions, especially on Saturday morning. Well, they don't always love them when they live in Pacific time, but that's kind of that's kind of early. But so you sign up tonight, you'll get invited to those next two classes like immediately. So it's good. It's good time. It was good timing that we did this class tonight. Why don't we do almost 10 after 7, Cass? Unfortunately, we need to do just one more question. And then maybe Rob can answer some questions about the
Oh,
UVT
sure.
virtual
Let me
membership
talk.
or
Fine.
no. I mean in the chat,
Oh,
for the
He's
I've
questions
been
that we
doing
doing
don't
really
that.
get
good on
to. Okay,
that.
good,
I've been
good.
doing that. Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Because I've been
Uh,
tagging him on some stuff. But let's finish off with a technique question. Tierney, I apologize if I mess up your name. How do you guys how do you voice act through allergies? I'm allergic to everything currently.
Ah!
Know the feeling. I know the feeling. And it's making for some sad takes. Oh man, I want to hear this too.
I tell you what, you know what? I have a neti pot that I have never touched because I kept thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to use this because it's going to clear out my sinuses and
oh,
all that
it
stuff.
doesn't work.
No, it may, but it's just I just can't get over the idea of waterboarding myself. No, allergy medications. You do whatever it takes. Here in Texas, here in Austin, we have what's known as cedar fever, and that happens from like December through March. The cedar trees all release pollen, and everybody loses their mind because we all get colds. All you can really do is if it's affecting your voice, is rest. You drink lots of water, take
Water and
meds that
rest.
help, and
Yeah,
rest. You just got to get through it.
This neti pot thing I think it got put on a voiceover blog like 15 years ago, and then it just like took off like hotcakes
I
on the
still
internet.
have it.
It will
I'll
not.
use
It is not an
Yeah.
it is not an instant cure to suddenly make your voice sound great. It'll make you feel better because your sinuses will be dry, a little bit more clear, but it's not like your voice is all of a sudden going to sound great. So yeah, unfortunately, it is a rest thing. I can't even record. I haven't recorded anything all week yet because again, I sound like a razor from that conference. Of course, I could do a movie trailer.
See, that's
Freddy
the problem.
Krueger. Freddy
That's the problem
Krueger
that
is
I have.
back.
When I
Yeah.
get a cold, there's like a day or two where my voice gets into that classic like Don LaFontaine kind of in the
No.
world kind of voice. But like a day or two after that, it switches to Harvey Firestein, and I sound like this. And I
Oh
can't
my
talk.
God, what a
So
combo.
if I tried to book any work where I sounded really cool, and then the day later they come back with, "Hey, can you do this retake?" I couldn't do it, and I would look like an idiot in front of the client. So no, and as much as I love playing with my voice when it sounds all awesome like that, no, I rest until it's back to sounding like me.
Well, awesome. Oh, look at we see everybody in the grid now. Hey, you know what? Thank you everybody for taking the time to be with us tonight. And I thought somebody is Big Kahuna. Oh, somebody's asking about the Big Kahuna price. But I was going to mention that too. If you go past the virtual program and you're on our website and you're interested in a bigger package, we also have flexible payment plans available via Affirm, Klarna, or Afterpay at checkout. So when you see that kind of, if you get a little sticker shock, don't worry about it. We can cut that up and split it up and all that thing. But please do try UVT Virtual tonight for those bonuses. We got a improv class Thursday, a script class Saturday. You'll be invited to both. Go to uvtvirtual.com, hit that join now button, and give that a try. We would really appreciate it. On behalf of Rob Marley, Cassie Gold, thank you so much for attending another UVT Intro to Voiceover class. Thank you, Cassie and Rob, for being a part of it. And thank you for taking time out of your Tuesday evening to be with us. And take care, everybody. And hopefully we will see you in the UVT virtual members area. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Cassie. Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.
Have a good evening. And remember, Freddy Krueger is back. I had to slip that in. All right. Good night, everybody. Take care.